it's me, Jojo. Growing up, my family devoted an entire bedroom closet just to board games. Somehow, an entire closet in our basement full of games that we had acquired, you know, through the normal ways like Target or Walmart or whatever, but also through thrift stores and garage sales. I grew up just playing a variety of board games. My favorite of which, though, was the classic, The Game of Life. I couldn't really tell you why that one was my favorite, except maybe because you got to be creative while you played and, you know, name your family and root for everybody's demise if they rolled for twins. And as I've gotten older, this has certainly not died down. I actually married someone who is maybe more into board games than I am. Woo! And I feel like we are genuinely living through the renaissance of board games. When I was little, you just had the standard games or the wacky ones from the 70s you would find at yard sales. But now there are just so many board games. So I want to show you my favorite board games right now. My favorites change all the time. All of these games I have played so many times and I just love them for different reasons. So let's just get into it. The first game I want to talk to you about is Mysterium. It's kind of like Clue mixed with Codenames, but with a twist. You can play this game anywhere from 2 to I've played with 17 people once. It looks like it's a lot when you're setting it up, but the playthrough is so quick. Like, I've been able to play this with people from 10 to 80 years old, like, honestly. There's also a soundtrack that you can download to play with this game, and it's just a bunch of spooky like ghostly sounds. One person in your group plays as a ghost, and the rest of you are mediums trying to figure out who killed the ghost. Ooh. And you do so by figuring out a person, place, and a thing, or there's an expansion where you figure out a motive, and the ghost gives clues to who killed them with these vision cards, and they're just abstract paintings. Probably half of these are upside down. I just love them so much. I feel like when I first played this game, all I could think about was color and associating color with, you know, the cards I was trying to get people to guess. But now that I've played this game for literal years, I've just developed different strategies and people think differently. That's my favorite part about this game, is that you just learn how people see these cards and interpret them. Some people are incredibly literal. Like, if the card I'm trying to get someone to guess has pink in it and I play a card with any amount of pink in it, they will just lock onto that and not look at anything else in the picture. Where others are like, this picture has a horse in it. Horses run races. This person has a checkered flag. It's this. Like, they just, you just learn to think differently based on who you're playing with. One of my favorite times playing this game was with a group of friends in college, and we literally played this game by candlelight in our apartment, all crowded around a tiny table with the soundtrack on, and it was just a good time. So that's Mysterium. Could not recommend this game more highly. Okay, moving on. We are going to talk about Wingspan. This is my family's current obsession. We have both of the expansions. This box probably weighs 3 or 4 pounds. Like, it's pretty dense. And this game is all about bird watching. Yeah, you heard me right, bird watching. So right off the bat, you can see this game is just full of color, and each player is an ornithologist trying to collect birds in various habitats. Let me show you what some of these bird cards look like. Every single card is different, by the way. So we have the common merganser. We have the spotted owl. Ooh, the Savannah sparrow. That's a cute one. And there are just so many birds, and I've learned so much. Like, on every card there's a fun fact. Like, for example, the Savannah sparrow is named after Savannah, Georgia and Sandwich Sound, Alaska. Never heard of Sandwich Sound, but now I kind of want to go there. It shows the habitat it could live in and the type of food that it eats. And it also has where in the world these birds live. So like I said, I own the expansions because the original is just all North American birds, but there's a European expansion and an Oceana expansion. You can literally play with emus and kiwi birds. It is so fun. They also have just like the cutest accessories. Like, you roll with this little dice tower that looks like a birdhouse, and you literally lay eggs on your birds. Another thing about this game is that you really don't have to memorize a lot of things. You just have to read a lot. So I guess that's a blessing and a curse. Final thing about this game is that the first couple of times you play, it takes a long time to get through. Like, I have played several 2-hour games or more, especially if you play with the full 5 people. But if you have played a lot and you get really good, then might I suggest the Oceana expansion, which completely changes how you play and introduces a new food type. Also with Wingspan, it's kind of like Seven Wonders, which is behind me here. It's anyone's game the whole time. I literally played a game 2 days ago where the person that's won strategy was just laying the most eggs and they won by a landslide. So there you have it, that is Wingspan. I know this one's currently at Target and it's kind of an expensive one, but you can get a lot of fun out of this one. Okay, next I wanna talk about the cutest game I think I own, and that is Everdo. This game is freaking adorable. The whole point of the game is that you live in the woods and you are trying to build the best town. And the best town has the best creatures and the best places for your creatures to live or go or visit. I'm not gonna build it now, but you build this tree where you put cards on and you play off of it. It's got this huge map. Look at this. That takes up a whole table. Look at this huge map. And you have different places you can go, and all of the resources that you use are like these really interesting shapes and textures. Like these are the berries and resin. So you can play this one with up to 4 people. I always like playing as these white mice. They're my favorite. The games can take a little bit longer, maybe an hour 15, but you're just having a good time the whole time you play. And no matter what, even if you lose, you built an adorable town with a cute maybe turtle for a judge or a mole that brings you resources. I don't know. And kind of like Seven Wonders that I was saying earlier, you never really know who's gonna win until you add up points at the end, because each card is worth points and you can collect victory points, and then there are separate goals. And sort of like Mysterium, it looks like a lot when you set up, but the game has a very finite start and end. You go through 4 seasons, and after that, you're done. Overall, this game is just super adorable and it's really accessible. If you're wanting to get into more complicated games, but in a cute way, I would recommend this one. And also, Carter, what's that book series that this reminds you of?
Redwall?
Redwall?
Yeah.
Okay, Redwall apparently is very similar to this too, in style, though I've never read it. Okay, lastly, I would like to introduce you to escape rooms in a box. These are called Exit the Game by Cosmos. It's a German company, and every single box, like this one's the Forgotten Island, the Cursed Labyrinth, is about $15 and can only be played 1 time. So they're pretty cheap for an escape room, but for one use of a board game, it's a little bit excessive. They just put you in a setting and then you solve a bunch of puzzles and you try to escape whatever scenario you're in. My favorite that I've done is like a steamboat on the Mississippi one, which one is cool because I live near the Mississippi River, and 2, it's like a murder mystery at the same time as an escape room. So there's tons of layers and some of the reveals are really cool. And overall, you just get to spend an hour doing puzzles and getting a little frustrated, but they include hints. It's not a big deal. And again, an escape room, like going to one, obviously it's its own experience and way more immersive, but $15 for 4 people to do an escape room? That's some cheap fun right there. They also make Exit the Game advent calendars, which I learned about too late last year to order, but this year I definitely want to get one. They also are coming out with new ones all of the time. Like when Carter and I first learned about these, there were only 12 and we had done most of them. And then when we did another Google search to find out which ones we had not done, they had doubled. And now there's so many that you can do. So yeah, these are some of my favorite games. So before I finish this video, I just want to talk about that if you can't afford to play these games, like I know this is a ton and we've accumulated these over several years, there are board game bars out there where you can go pay a $5 fee and just play as many board games as you want. Like there's one in St. Louis called Pieces that I hope to go to very soon. And you can just sit there for hours trying out all these games. And usually they have experts who can help you learn the instructions, and they have yummy food and drinks, and it's just so much fun. If you don't want to invest in a game before playing it, hit up one of those board game bars. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Comment below what's your favorite board game right now. Even if it's a classic, I want to know, because maybe that'll inspire me to play it. Also comment below if you'd be interested in me doing a similar one of these, but with my favorite obscure board games from my childhood that I have never seen anywhere else. Like one of them is called Acquire, like not acquire la la la, but acquire, like it's mine, I've acquired it. So if you're interested in learning about some more weird games that my family owns, let me know. I would really appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow my channel and it would mean a lot. All right, that is all I have for you. I will see you next week. Bye!